Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness, day 256 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so to begin, we're going to get into our meditation routine. So I will see you all on the other side. Alrighty, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so we just finished our meditation routine. Good morning, AJ. How's it going? Top of the morning to you. Okay, so we just finished our meditation routine. We're going to get into our reading routine next. I will see you all on the other side. Alrighty, welcome back. Oh no, only what 10 35 pages left, you guys. One more week and we'll be done with another book. Another book in the library. All right, so just finished reading our reading routine, and now we're going into our journaling routine. Good morning, Yusuf. Good morning, brother. How are you? Good morning, Liz. Howdy. Day 2. Alrighty. So in the journaling routine, I usually like to start off right about what I'm most grateful for. And in the morning, that is waking up and being in perfect mental, spiritual, and physical health. I expanded the elaboration from just being in perfect health, and I classified it to those three areas. Um, the more specific you are in terms of your mental thought processes and intention, the clearer the clearer the reality is that you manifest for yourself. So I go back to yesterday and I show my humility and gratitude for anything I may have experienced, any laughters I may have shared with other people, and I write about those things, and thank the universe and thank God for the opportunity to even experience, and then anything I wish to manifest moving forward, whether that be today or any other situation that soon here in the future. I go ahead and write those things down also. So it's a good way to track like your thoughts. It's a good way to track. It's a good way to track your goals. It's a good way to. I mean, journaling is one of the fundamental reasons, or one of the fundamental ways for you to create a better life for yourself. So, with that being said, if you have any questions about how to journal, let me know after the session, and I'll see you all on the other side. All right, my friends, welcome back. Good morning, Amy. Yes, indeed, we will. Good morning, Auntie. All right, so we don't. There's not too much to talk about today from our readings, but there were a couple good points made. What the future holds depends on your state of consciousness now. So living in the now, being present in the being of now, um, helps with creating a clearer and more identified future for yourself. To be in that state or to be in that position of um, manifesting your reality, you have to be uh, to some capacity or another conscious and enlightened to a degree, um, where you can understand that simple formula. What you're doing now, what you're experiencing now, what your mindset is now will um, will pretty much pave the way for a successful or suffering future. Um, when doing becomes infused with the timeless quality of being, that is success. Unless being flows into doing, unless you are present, you lose yourself in whatever you do. You also lose yourself in thinking as well as in your reactions to what happens externally. So, always being in a state of awareness, always being conscious of how you're responding. Consciousness also loses itself when it identifies with acting and reacting to what happens. Every thought, every desire or fear, every action or reaction is then infused with a false sense of self that is incapable of sensing the simple joy of being, and so seeks pleasure and sometimes even pains as substitutes for it. There is no greater peace than the peace that you will experience when you start coming into knowing who you are. That is the joy of being, which is what the book is referring to. There is no car, there is no money, uh, there's no material thing that can keep you happy for a lifetime more than you finding the balance and the peace within you, and identifying with your highest self, which is God, and not only identifying, but then living, a love-filled, non-judgment, peaceful, and balanced life. There's no better feeling than coming into that zone, because when you come into that zone, nothing can shake you. You are literally unshakable, and you exude that to others, and others receive that energy, um, and then your whole entire life starts to change. So this is living in forgetfulness being. This being, every desire or fear, every action or reaction is then infused with a false sense of self that is incapable of sensing the simple joy of, and so seeks pleasure and sometimes even pain as substitute for. So while on the journey to coming into your greatest self and your awakening, fear, desire, a false sense of self, incapable of sensing the joy of being, so seeks pleasure and sometimes even pain to substitute for it. So along the journey, we may go and try to look for material things or physical things that please us or make us happy, because we are having a challenging time to identify who we truly are inside. We may even seek things that are painful. But the point here is that you will gracefully be introduced. You will gracefully be introduced to what it means to be enlightened and awakened, whether it be through this exercise or this journey that we're all on together here. online, The Journey to Greatness, or in some other capacity or space. When you are substituting that feeling of balance, peace within yourself with seeking, pleasures, other pleasures, and pain, you're living in forgetfulness, or you're being a forgetfulness being. In that state of forgetfulness of who you are, every success is no more than a passing delusion. So again, there's no pain, there's no pleasure greater than the feeling that you receive every morning, every day when you wake up, and you just say, thank you for being able to breathe. Thank you for the intricate system that allows me to think, my brain, my neurons, the creativity, the nature, the quality of my oxygen, like to really deeply be in fascination with all of the simple things that we may or may not take for granted on a daily basis. Inner peace. You're just happy about life, right? Everything that life has to offer. Other kinds of changes may suddenly come to you from without. A chance meeting brings a new opportunity and expansion into your life. A long-standing obstacle or conflict dissolves. Your friends either go through this inner transformation with you or drift out of your life. Some relationships dissolve, others deepen. You may get laid off from your job, or you may become an agent for positive change at your workplace. Your spouse leaves you, or you reach a new level of intimacy. Some changes may look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. That's a big one. The big one here, I think, is your friends either go through this inner transformation with you or drift out of your life. That's a big one. That's a really, really big one. And the reason why I say that is because you can be as close as, you can be as close as anything with somebody. And the moment that you realize that you are stepping into your consciousness, and you wish to live a different quality of life, a different level of life, you start to see people fade away from you. And you still love them unconditionally, but it's not a matter of spending time with them, because everybody's on a different vibration. And so naturally you will attract other people who are on that similar vibration. And I can't tell you how much that happens to me on a daily basis, or even on a weekly basis, where I run into at least one person who's just vibrating on that same level as I. And just upon seeing each other, it's kind of like, I feel like something's different with you, introduction. And so it's a pretty interesting thing to observe, to be the observer of, like watching myself interact with someone that I've never met before. But internally and energetically and spiritually, we know that, at one point or another in the future, we will sit down, we'll have coffee. We may even bring two networks of people together that can all connect and contribute to the higher collective consciousness of energy and thought and experience. But that's a big one. And it's not, on the surface, it may seem as if there's a problem or there's an issue with it. People separating, or, paths being kind of crossed a little bit. But the beautiful thing about it is you will go through so much evolution. You will go through so much growth that it'll be worth it. Being at one with what is doesn't mean you no longer initiate change or become incapable of taking action. But the motivation to take action comes from deeper level, not from egoic wanting or fearing. Inner alignment with the present moment opens your consciousness and brings it into alignment with the whole, of which the present moment is an integral part. So the whole is everything on the outer side. The whole is the energy that creates the experiences of everything you see in the material world, right? This illusionary world. So the more you can get connected into the thing that happens behind the reality, which is the universe, the unlimited universal intelligence. When you can connect into that through your awareness of self, you start to become connected to the whole, and therefore become more powerful, and therefore able to manifest or create or think a reality into existence. And the moment you do that, your life will change. The more inner alignment, the stronger your power becomes. And last but not least, it is an outer manifestation of an underlying intelligence behind the world of appearances, exactly what I just described, and a deeper connectedness that our mind cannot understand. But we can be conscious participants in the unfolding of that intelligence, the flowering consciousness. So it may be our objective to touch the thing behind the physical experience that we're seeing and that we're quote unquote experiencing. But through the level of consciousness of wanting to connect with that journey is enjoyable. And that's what we're going through here. I had a thought about Jim Rohn said, what did he say? Jim Rohn said, if you have a goal, this is more of my summary of Jim Rohn's words. If you have a goal that you wish to achieve and you haven't achieved it, the question should not ever be, I take first off from what we say, for the most part every morning, I take full responsibility for my reality, right? If you're not getting the opportunities that you wish or that you are destined for, you need to do more work on yourself. You need to do more work on yourself. Another suggestion, pause. You don't need to do anything. One thing that I remind myself of on a daily, if I strive to reach a certain level or a certain goal, if I don't reach it, then I look to myself and I take responsibility, right? And then the second thing I do is I say, okay, how come I'm not achieving this goal that I've set out for myself? And at that moment, I tell myself, I need to do more work on myself. I need to do more work on myself, which is why we have the journey to greatness, is because I wanted to push myself to the next level. I wanted to take my earnings to the next level. I wanted to take my life experience to the next level. I wanted to take my relationship with myself to the next level. I wanted to take a relationship with my significant other to the next level, with my friends to the next level, with my family to the next level, with everything, right? My energy to the next level, my spiritual game to the next level. And that's why we started the journey to greatness. And so at any point in time, if I'm getting what I don't want, or if what I'm getting, I know there's something more for me, which in essence, the ego will always say there's something more. So there'll have to be a balance in a conversation that will come during that time where you're like, I feel like I don't want to work anymore. And there is more for me to do. But is there an alternative? Is there something else that I can turn to, or something else that I want to do, rather than continue on this path of success or, whatever it is that we're trying to attain. So, anytime, like I said, the biggest point here is whenever I feel I am not achieving or operating my highest potential, I start getting more and more and more into building myself. It is free to go online and find books. It is free to listen to audio tapes, people who have done it time and time and time and time again. It is free to use YouTube. It is free to read books, which is a lost art to a very large capacity. It is free to journal your dreams every single day and materialize them into fact, into something tangible. It is free to meditate. And it is fundamentally free to build yourself and your mind. You really don't need anything else. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that you can go find that can help boost you and make you more beefy along the way anyways. So the thing here is why live a life of suffering? Why live a life of I don't know what's coming next? Why live a life of, oh, this, I never get what I want? Oh, why live a life like that? Why live a life like that when you can live one of abundance, right? Everything that you could possibly fathom that's positive, you can manifest and call it into your reality. And that's the beautiful power and the beautiful gift that we're all given on this earth and in this lifetime and in this sequence. So with that being said, take that and run to the bank, literally. Okay, so feel free to repeat after me. This is my life. I am aware. I take full responsibility for my reality and thoughts. I recognize I have the power to manifest the best possible life, a life of wealth, love, and peace. I truly believe that I have zero limitations. I trust my instincts, God, and universe. I am ready to transcend. I have arrived, and so it is. To everybody who jumped on the messenger board this morning, good morning to you. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for the constant support. I hope everyone has the best day of their lives. To everybody who's at home, giving support through the camera, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Love you guys immensely. And I hope you all have the best day of your life today. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 a.m. Peace.